Okay, so yesterday we talked about extensively, and you broke it down to us, Adam, about this Clipper, Kawhi Leonard, Steve Ballmer, Aspiration Company situation and what's going on with it and different perspectives. Now you have some new light, I am understanding, on what's going on, or some new information on what's going on with the investigation.
I just happen to be watching every single show that Pablo Torre has been going on to right now since he started this firestorm.
You got him on favorites right now and everything?
I wouldn't say favorites, but I am keeping my notifications open for any time. What's the alarm bell that rings on YouTube when you get a new episode that comes in? That's what it's like right now. And while he hasn't exactly said anything that groundbreaking, some other people, and I trust Zach Lowe, he's one of my favorites from The Ringer now, but obviously was on the Evil Four Letter for a while, high-level NBA thinker type, indie basketball type. And he brought up something interesting because ultimately everyone's talking about what's the punishment going to be. Should they find anything with the Clippers here? What could happen? And a lot of people are trying to parallel it to the situation with Joe Smith. And I think 2000 or 2001 with the Minnesota Timberwolves. And they got hammered. Right. They got the death penalty, basically. I think them getting 5 first-round picks taken away and the fine, and Glenn Taylor being suspended for a season, and Kevin McHale, that eventually led to Kevin Garnett leaving or being traded, honestly, because it took away the possibility of the Timberwolves being able to build a quality team around him. Yeah. So that was severe. That's worst case scenario. But some are bringing that up because that's the precedent here. Now, it should be of note that there was hard evidence in that case. There was an actual note because the agent eventually left Joe Smith and flipped and gave the goods on how that deal came about, where basically they were circumventing the salary cap by saying, Joe Smith, we're going to pay you, just pennies right now to keep you under the cap and keep our team cap situation flexible. And then when we get your bird rise so we can go over the cap in 3 years, we'll make up for it then. Well, that's a big no-no. You can't do that with players, hence why they got...
Tell me they didn't put that in writing. They just said it.
Oh, it was.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. It was in the yellow notepad. It was... I mean,
rule number 1.
You want to talk about receipts? Yeah. This was... what was the old show? World's Dumbest Criminals or something? Yes. Where the guy's breaking into the house and he falls through the roof. It was that type of thing. Now,
he starts scratching his eye and he takes his mask off.
Yeah. How are we going to find him? Oh, we got his face. In this case, there's no hard evidence that we have seen so far or has been presented by Pablo Torre. It's all alleged and it's a lot of connecting dots. However, going back to Zach Lowe here, he did bring up on his show that according to the CBA bylaws, circumstantial evidence is enough for punishment here. It says in the bylaws may be proven by direct or circumstantial evidence, including but not limited to evidence that a player in a contract or any term or provision thereof cannot rationally be explained. Well, people are wondering right now, how do you explain away what's happening with Kawhi being paid $28 million from Aspiration when from what we have not seen yet is him being in a commercial or doing anything promoting them?
But my question on that aspect of it, and I get you got to be specific, and where's the paperwork for that? When he signed that deal, how long after he signed that deal did Aspiration file for bankruptcy?
I think it was in 1.5 to 2 years. Like, there was probably adequate time for them to figure out how to get a commercial or him to be a spokesman and promote it like Robert Downey Jr. did. But we don't know. We can't compare a company that was defrauding everyone and act like that's a normal functioning company. Right. They are convicted of fraud. So to be like, why would they ever give away this money? Why would they do something like that? I don't know. Why would they fraud everybody out? Like, they did a lot of stuff that was highly illegal and irregular. It doesn't make a lot of sense. We're trying to rationalize a company
and who
that
knows
was breaking the law.
And in which either Ballmer or Kawhi knew this company was a fraud. Right? So it could have been early on. They knew this was going in the wrong direction, and somebody got to Kawhi and say, hey, just pump your brakes on this company until we find out they're all on the up and up, so we're not going to do anything for them. It could have been that.
I get it. It looks suspicious that they're continuing to pay him, but the truth is, we're going to have to get some type of explanation, and that's what the NBA is investigating.
Will Kawhi ever give any kind of explanation?
I don't know how this works. Would he be interviewed for this? It would make sense.
Or anything?
It's not a court of law thing. They didn't break a law.
Right.
Even at their worst, they didn't break a law. They broke a rule.
Can't the NBA, I don't know what you would call it, but can't they at least question everyone involved? And wouldn't they have the ability to question Kawhi and Steve Ballmer? Or can they just say, we're taking the fifth, we're not going to say anything until you make this a criminal matter?
That's a good question. I wonder if they pushed back against the NBA interviewing them.
Would not be good. Huh?
It would probably look bad on them, and they're trying to hide something, which I think is why Steve Ballmer came out last Thursday to get out in front of this and be like, hey, we got nothing to hide here. I'm willing to talk about it. So it's ongoing. It's a fluid situation, as they say. It is way above my pay grade, and we shall see where the evidence and the facts lead.
All right.